A mother orchestrates a special homecoming surprise for two Shawnee Mission sisters. The U.S. Army's Chief Management Officer delivers an important message to students about honoring military veterans. And we'll find out how students used empty bowls to raise dough to feed hungry children. Plus, students get up close and personal with some furry and feathery friends. It's all ahead on this episode of Spotlight on Shawnee Mission. Welcome to Spotlight on Shawnee Mission. I'm your host, Leanne Neal. It was a rare opportunity for students and staff at Rhine-Benninghoven Elementary. They got to witness a very special homecoming. The Harrop sisters thought they were hosting their mom for a special lunch at school, but it turned out to be much more. We'll let their mother, Sarah, explain.
Well, we have two daughters, Addison and Ella, that go here at Benninghoven, and their older brother, Caleb, has been deployed in Afghanistan for the last 9 months and just got back this week, and so he's going to surprise them.
When Principal Mary Riley found out about Sergeant Caleb Bryant's secret mission, she was excited to bring the school on board.
We want this to happen. What a great opportunity for not only their kids, but also all the other kids to see that too.
Oh, come here. Come here.
I think the girls had no idea what was going on at first. When you see somebody and you're like, wait a minute, oh my gosh, it was amazing for them. And then we had some other students who were also family members, and so we were able to kind of bring them down as we went along.
Caleb says the toughest part of his secret mission was, well, keeping it a secret.
It really was, because I didn't know what they were telling my sisters, or if she would slip up and mention the wrong date, or say, oh, lunch tomorrow, or, something like that.
Sarah says it wasn't easy for Mom and Dad to keep Caleb's secret from the girls either.
They wanted to call him last night to talk to him about when he was going to be here, and I said he was busy, he's getting ready to come home, so we've had to, he's been here for a day, so it was really hard. We weren't able to see him for the first day because we're at home with the kids, so to help keep it a surprise, it was really hard.
My teacher got a call from my mom, and she told me that I'm eating lunch with my sister, and then and my mom's gonna come, and then when she came, a couple minutes later, they all came.
Now that the secret's out, the girls are preparing for a fun couple of weeks with their brother before he returns to duty.
Play with him and play games and stuff.
Joe and Sarah say they'll keep their plans simple.
Just reuniting with his sisters.
Yeah, just getting the family together and everybody being able to enjoy each other's company again, and hugs, lots of hugs.
Yeah, lots of hugs and kisses.
I'm not very an emotional guy. I keep my stuff locked up in the inside, but it made me want to tear up a little bit. It really did.
While at Benninghoven, Bryant also surprised his cousins, Sam and Coleman Secker. Alyssa Secker, a Shawnee Mission Northwest freshman, joined the family reunion too. Up next, bringing the message and meaning of Veterans Day to students across the district.
Breaking Stalin's Nose is an historical story about the time when Comrade Stalin ruled the Soviet Union. During this time, he believed in communism and the Communist Party. The young character, Sasha, has always wanted to be a young pioneer for his whole life. But after his father was taken away by the Soviet police and he broke Stalin's nose off his statue, he wonders how real communism is to him, and same with Comrade Stalin. I rate this book 4 out of 5 stars for its intriguing story and historical event.
Welcome back. Thank you, veterans, was the message from students and staff across the district as Shawnee Mission Schools observed Veterans Day. Anchors away, my Elementary's annual assembly was filled with plenty of music, including the anthem for each branch of the U.S. military. After that, veteran Al Lemieux spoke about his military experience.
About my experiences in Korea. Some of them are sad, but we had a lot of good times. So some of the things I want to share mainly with the kids back here is how I lived in the mountains of Korea as a rifleman at that time. It was really cold in the winter when I got there, and it was really hot in the summer when I was there. And living in the mountains, we kind of lived like mountain men, maybe you've seen on TV.
After Lemieux's remarks, students had an opportunity to hear from the Army's second highest ranking civilian, Joseph Westfall, the Undersecretary of the U.S. Army. He urged students to make a point of thanking veterans for their service.
So today, when you go up to one of these veterans, and I hope you all will after this assembly, whether you know them or not, I want you to look them in the eye. Don't be shy. I want you to take your hand, extend your hand out to them, shake their hand, look them in the eye, and say thank you for your service to our country.
Then, to help get the ball rolling, Westfall had the students practice.
1, 2, 3. Happy Day! Excellent.
After the assembly, Brookwood held a special reception in the veterans' honor.
So you got to stand at attention. Ready? Bend your fingers and look really serious. Tuck in your chin. There, now you're standing just like an Army girl.
U.S. Army Major Scott Schmidt's daughters, Rebecca and Sarah, are students at Brookwood.
Oh, it just made me feel so good to see my kids up there wearing red and singing the Army song and all those other patriotic songs. It was really, really nice to see.
This was excellent, excellent. This is our future of our country, and these young men and women, these young kids, it's wonderful to see them and be part of their program.
Back in the classroom, Westfall, also known as Grandpa Joe to two Brookwood students, took time to congratulate his grandson and the other students on an outstanding assembly.
I thought the ceremony was incredible. I was really kind of blown away. I did not expect it to be quite like it was. I didn't expect the kids to be so well synchronized in their music and in their singing. I thought it was especially great when they sang all the service songs. I really was touched by it, and I love not just the patriotism, but the real desire to share that with their families. I thought that was really, really special.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America.
You know, without our veterans and our active military, we would not be the country that we are, and I'm very appreciative of that. I'm from a family of veterans, and because of that, it meant a great deal to me, even personally. He gave me a coin that he gives out to veterans for excellence, and he gave them to all of our veterans that were in our room in our active military. He gave it to me in honor of my father, who was an Army veteran and passed away not very long ago.
I think it's so important for the kids because they are learning all year long about veterans and what it means to be a veteran and what it means to be a hero. And I think it's nice for them to make that connection of we have our freedom and our rights because of these veterans that fight for our country and protect us and give us the freedom that we have here in the United States.
It's great to do it. It's great to connect with these kids and teachers and go back to Washington and have that kind of experience and have that kind of meaningful rapport with our future leaders in our country.
At Indian Woods Middle School, Veterans Day remembrances began with an outdoor flag-raising ceremony.
God bless America, my home, sweet home.
Those gathered sang God Bless America after Boy Scouts helped the school raise the colors. Scout Joseph Ward says he sees special meaning behind the stars and stripes.
It's very important because it stands for everything that we've ever done in history, and it's the symbol of America.
After the outdoor ceremony concluded, it was time to move inside for Indian Woods' annual Veterans Day Assembly. Shawnee Mission West's NJROTC presented the colors, followed by Indian Woods Choir singing the national anthem. Veteran Pete Keyser spoke to the students from his heart.
That I'm here to talk to you this morning about something that's very important. Patriotism, something that each one of us should hold near and dear to our hearts. It's what makes you go, gives you the drive, keeps you going. When you know, when you're overseas, folks back home are depending on you.
Indian Woods teacher and U.S. Army veteran Martin Altieri shared a story about a homemade pillow he received while serving in Afghanistan and how a small gesture of kindness can have a huge impact.
10 years later, and even though it may be kind of stitched up and lumpy and maybe not the best pillow, I still have it. And it made us realize why we were there. It wasn't for us. It was for everyone that's proud to be an American. And it's to ensure that future generations have the same opportunities that we had.
The ceremony ended with the reading of a poem honoring veterans.
So here's to our country's heroes. They're cut above the rest. Let's give the honor that is due to our country's very best.
Social studies teacher Kurt White says the annual assembly makes a difference.
I had an incredible response. In fact, many students, they told me that it really changed them. I've had veterans speak in my classes, and they are different when that happens.
Veterans Day is just a really good day, just to go up to somebody, shake their hand, thank them for what they've done for this country, because you can't even begin to imagine what they've gone through to be here.
Veterans Day means to me is to recognize all the people that came before me or are older than me, serving to protect my rights and freedom, so I can have the freedom to walk down the street without being asked questions or having to look over my shoulder.
From tubas to trombones, clarinets to flutes, everyone was on hand and ready to compete. Up next, we'll take you to the first Marching Band Invitational. Plus, serving up a simple meal of soup and bread for a good cause. Find out how much a group of Shawnee Mission students raised to help harvesters when Spotlight on Shawnee Mission returns. Welcome back. Usually marching bands are the break between two halves of competition, but that wasn't the case when Shawnee Mission North invited a dozen bands to go head-to-head.
Ladies and gentlemen, we would like to welcome you to the first annual Shawnee Mission North Marching Invitational.
12 bands, more than 1,600 musicians from Kansas City, Topeka, Leavenworth, Lawrence, Wichita, and Oklahoma came together at the Shawnee Mission School District Stadium North location for the chance to compete.
We have 12 bands participating today in 2 different divisions. Each division has 6 bands each, and the top 3 in each division, as well as the next 2 overall highest scores, will also compete in a finals competition later this evening.
Shawnee Mission East Marching Band went with Bond, James Bond.
It's a lot of fun to play the show because everybody knows the James Bond theme. The school gets really into it, the student section, the parents. I think it's the most fun show I've done my 4 years just because everybody knows it, and it's really fun to play.
I think it's going great. We just have wonderful weather to start with, so it just puts everyone in a great mood. We put a priority on making sure that all of the bands had plenty of space and plenty of parking space to warm their bands up, and so hopefully the bands are getting what they need.
I feel like it's one of our best performances we've ever had, a lot better than we've done in the previous weeks. A lot of it just clicked today, and I'm really proud of the whole band for it.
Even though his band traveled from Topeka, Alex says it felt almost like home field advantage.
I think the stadium actually helped us a lot because it looks exactly like where we march at home, and it all looks really nice and a lot better than some places we've marched.
We have a beautiful facility here. It's only 6 years old. Several $1 million were put into the renovation of this stadium, and we were just very happy and blessed that enough bands were interested in coming out and competing here at Shawnee Mission North.
But competition isn't all these bands will take home with them.
Each of the band directors today will leave with a jump drive that will have all of the judges' comments on them, and they'll have a DVD, or rather a video performance of their band.
Although Shawnee Mission North's band hosted the Invitational, Reed says parents played a big part in the day's success.
We have a fantastic set of parents here at Shawnee Mission North, the Shawnee Know Booster Organization, and they've been helping all of the bands today. They've been selling concessions and grilling hot dogs and hamburgers and making it a festive atmosphere.
In addition to the 1,600 musicians, about 3,000 spectators filled the stands for this first ever Invitational.
It's a really great opportunity not only for the band but also the community. Brings in a lot of interest and revenue to the program, so it's a really exciting and big deal for us.
The marching band from Blue Valley West took home top honors this time around. Shawnee Mission North's marching band is already making plans for next year's event. For more information, visit smnorthbands.org and look for the invitational box on the left. More children in our community will be able to count on a meal thanks to the work of some Shawnee Mission High School students. The smell of homemade soups filled the cafeteria of Shawnee Mission Northwest. Students from the school's National Art Honor Society, ceramics, and family and consumer science classes joined together to host an Empty Bowls fundraiser.
The idea is that you invite the community to a simple meal of soup and bread, and in exchange for a donation, they get to keep a bowl as a reminder of all the empty bowls in the world.
Most of the bowls were created by students in Beebleston's ceramics classes.
They've been working for almost a month to try to make all these bowls, and we all just worked together doing little parts of each of it. So it was just a step-by-step thing.
Well, we did a couple methods. We did one, the wheel method, which is what we're demonstrating here, and that's just the easiest, fastest method. And then we also did a slab method where we roll it out and take it to form. And then we also did the pinch pot method where we pinch the clay into shape.
I wanted the kids to do something good and beneficial with ceramics. So they were really just excited to be a part of it, and they did a really good job.
I would like chicken noodles.
The soups were provided by students taking family and consumer science.
I'm in foods class and ceramics, so I helped make the bowls and make all the soups back there. So we decided to just start a new thing, start Empty Bowls. Seemed like a good opportunity.
Soup wasn't the only thing warming everyone's hearts at this fundraiser. Proceeds from the Empty Bowls evening will help several initiatives at Harvesters.
Specifically, we're going to be donating it to their programs to fight childhood hunger, like Back Snack and Kids Cafe and Kids in the Kitchen.
Harvesters helps a lot of people every day, all the time, yes. And this year they're having trouble getting, there's a lot more people since they've cut back on the food stamps and all. There's more poverty than ever. People needing help.
The Empty Bowls event raised more than $1,300 for Harvesters. Well done, Cougars. Up next, helping children discover the world of animals when Spotlight on Shawnee Mission returns.
My name is Lily, and I read the book Zora and Me by Victoria Bond and T.R. Simon. This book is all about the famous American author Zora Neale Hurston and her life as a child. The book is narrated by her best friend Carrie. Zora is a great storyteller, so great, in fact, that when she tells a story about how their neighbor Mr. Pendier is really an alligator, she ends up believing it herself. And when a body is found by the tracks, it's up to Zora and Carrie to find out if it really was Mr. Pendier or some other criminal. Read this book to find out. I give this book 3 stars out of 5 stars for interesting plot and great character development.
Welcome back. Whether they crawl, hop, or fly, studying animals can be fascinating. Now, some students at Ray Marsh Elementary have a better idea about what animals are all about.
Put your hands up high, reach for the sky. Your hands are up high. Now put them down low. Give yourself a hug and say hello. Hello.
With that, the animal adventure begins for these kindergartners. Their guide, Molly Postlethwaite from the Ernie Miller Nature Center.
And we're talking about the concepts of different kinds of animals. The program is called Kids and Critters, and so we introduce the kids to the family of reptiles with a turtle.
This is a box turtle. Now he's in his shell, shut up nice and tight. He might come out later, but I think he was taking a nap.
Students had the chance to touch a turtle shell and learn a little about reptiles.
I know a little turtle. He lives in a box. He splashes in the water. He climbs up the rocks.
And the idea is that they see different animals, the way the animal would survive, what it eats, the special adaptations or equipment that the bird or bunny or turtle has.
Next, it was time to learn about our feathered friends by meeting something most people hear but don't often see, the secretive screech owl.
Now he looks like a baby, doesn't he? But he is a full-grown adult screech owl. This is how old he is. 5 years old. So, and you're 5 too.
Postlethwaite says the Kids and Critters program is designed to give the students a different kind of classroom experience.
They get to move around, they get to be involved with the learning process. So it's not just a lecture. We want to involve them, engage them, entertain them, educate them.
The final critter these students would meet today was an example of a mammal.
So she's smelling, and look at her ears. Her ears are up. She's listening.
This was someone's pet who was not able to keep her anymore, and so we adopted her. So the domesticated rabbit also is a great opportunity for kids to touch, and they just love that tactile experience of touching the fur.
In fact, several students picked the rabbit as their favorite critter of the day.
Because it was so soft. Because it's so cute.
Madison, on the other hand, couldn't pick just one.
Just because they're cool and I like them.
Postlethwaite encouraged these students and everyone in the community to get outside and visit the Nature Center.
We have nature trails. It's free. We have many of the animals that would be native to this area. And we invite people to come out. We're not a zoo, but we do have animals on display. Many of the birds that we have are rescued birds. They've had some kind of injury. So our whole idea is just for people to enjoy nature, learn about it, actually experiencing nature and seeing the animals up close.
To learn more about the Ernie Miller Nature Center, visit erniemiller.com. Our thanks to Molly Postlethwaite for sharing her love of nature with Shawnee Mission students. That's all the time we have for this episode of Spotlight on Shawnee Mission. Join us again as we continue to feature the programs and people of Shawnee Mission who are helping guide students to success. Thank you for watching.